Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 30th. You have this viewpoints card and this tenacious individuality card here. So, I think that you're a Virgo, so you are pretty individual. I don't know where I was going with that, but I think there's nothing wrong there. I do feel we are in a time of viewpoints, obviously, but I think it's a really good time to look at all the points of view of everything that you're doing in your life. Just because we are in what I call a time of variety, where the more options you give yourself, probably the better. Especially if you're working on creating something or building something important. Very good reading so far, Virgo. But if you're working on building something, it will just make you more, dangerous in a good way if you understand all the different ways you could build a business, if that's what you're doing, or all the different ways you could write a book, right? If that's what you're doing, whatever you're trying to accomplish. And so staying flexible is going to be very important. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles in the area of what's coming in for you your general energies for the week. And the Wheel of Fortune can, of course, represent a change in your fortunes, which is very good. The Wheel of Fortune is also your destiny, which is kind of popping into my head for you, that I feel like you feel like you are going the right direction. It's sometimes we just feel like we are being confirmed, by the universe, where it's we just feel like we're going in the right direction. And I know that kind of sounds lame, but I don't know. That could be good. It could be very motivational for you this week, but that's kind of the energy I get off the Wheel of Fortune. I don't feel overly excited about it. Not that, it's bad or anything. I just feel very average about the Wheel of Fortune you're reading, and in the sense that you just might feel locked in this week. But again, that could be very good. You have the Four Cups. The Four Cups is about, disappointments. I kind of feel like the fear of disappointment for you. He has tried to manifest something 3 times, and now he's trying to manifest something again, but he's not accepting it because he's been disappointed 3 times before. So the Four Cups can represent needing to accept a new opportunity because you have learned. These 3 cups basically say you have learned what you needed to, and all you have to do is apply these 3 cups to this 4th cup, and it will be successful. Definitely could be love for some of you. You have the Page of Cups, King of Cups, Ace of Cups. So there is definitely in the 6 of Cups as well. These are all very good cards of a soulmate coming in. This could be something you've asked for as well here, Virgo. We go Page of Cups, 6 of Cups to the 9 of Cups. So the 9 of Cups is a wish or wish fulfillment. And, so if you have been asking for a person, then this definitely could be a person you've asked for. It could be a specific person as well. So if you've had your eye on a specific person, then it definitely could be that person that you're attracting into your life. And the other thing is with the Wheel of Fortune, this could definitely be a connection that changes the direction of your life. One thing I will say, and I'm cheating a little bit because of the astrology, is that I do believe we're in a time where, if we're going to get into a relationship right now, it is going to change our life in some way. And you might say, that always happens in a connection, but it's much, much deeper right now. I see people making a lot of big moves because of connections right now, as in, it's maybe you meet a person where you would have to move to be with a person, or maybe you meet a person where you would have to change your job, or go get a job somewhere else to be closer, or, that type of change. You have the Ten of Pentacles. I think you'll be happy though. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. Ten of Pentacles, I always say, is a state to be achieved. It is something that doesn't happen overnight. It is building and leaving a legacy. But I also always say that I think the Ten of Pentacles is probably the best worthy goal that exists, because it's literally a perfect life. Now, of course, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but I do. Life is never going to be perfect. There will always be things that happen. That's life. That's how life works, right? But the Ten of Pentacles is about working towards the Ten of Pentacles. It's not necessarily about getting your Ten of Pentacles. It's about working towards it. Working towards it will make your life better, plain and simple. So the Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. And again, working towards that is going to be a good idea. Money also looks amazing in this reading, Virgo. You have the 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. If you're working on something specific, like a specific project, or if you're working towards a specific goal, I think that there could be a lot of success here for you, or there is clearly, a lot of success coming in for you, which looks amazing. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Hermit. I don't know why I was hesitating. This is you. Only you. I used to make the joke. Only you can prevent forest fires with the Wheel of Fortune, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune says only you can be the one to change your fortunes. That's literally what it says. And I don't know. The Hermit basically says the same thing because the Hermit is you. Just whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. With the Four of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is pretty good with the Four of Cups because it does say you're at least willing to work with the energy to improve a situation or to try something again. And I kind of get a little bit of second chance vibes on that Four of Cups where maybe you're saying to yourself, maybe I am willing to try love again or whatever. It doesn't have to be love. I'm just using that as an example. It could be like business or career or, some sort of other change that you're wanting to make. And that's kind of what I feel there. With the Ten of Pentacles, here you go. You have the Sun, best card in the deck. Really good, very good reading, Virgo, very positive. So I think that a lot of you, the sun is shining on you. I kind of get that feeling from the reading as well. This is more popping into my head as wind in your sails this week. Remember what I said on that Wheel of Fortune? You just feel more locked into me. You feel on a personal level that you're going in the right direction this week. Which, again, that can give you the wind in your sails that keeps you moving forward. And that's kind of what I feel with the sun. It's giving me more wind in the sails type of energy. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this deep breath card and this feeling the world card. Yes, I think everybody is. I've literally been talking about this for years, that everybody is going to be feeling the world, the craziness. I've been talking, literally, I've been saying this, for years, that we are in a time of chaos, and now all this chaos happens, and people are like, why is all this chaos happening? I'm like, I don't know. I've been predicting this since 2016. I've basically said that, since 2016, you can literally go to my live tab, go to the oldest lives. When I first started going live, I used to talk about this all the time, where basically at the end of Neptune and Pisces that there would be chaos. We're technically not at the end. I used to say at the beginning of 2026 because that is technically the end of Neptune and Pisces, because Neptune's going to retrograde back into Pisces. It's going to move back, and then at the beginning of 2026 it's going to move back into Aries, and that is when things might get a little bit weirder, is what I would say. But at the same time, I think that people who keep their head on straight and stay focused and worry about themselves are going to be the most successful and are going to get through it the easiest. And that's what I would encourage. I would also say that Neptune in Pisces is deception, plain and simple. So I don't believe anything at all, period, during Neptune and Pisces, even though it's technically in Aries right this second. So, and one thing, a great example I will give you, and I'm not getting political here or anything. I'm not political. I think they're all evil. I think they should all be in jail, every last one of them. So there you go. I think they do more harm than good, divide and conquer, evil, right? And so, but what I would say is a lot of flip-flopping energy. It's we had that ceasefire between Israel and Iran, and then it lasted 11 minutes, and now they're back at it again, right? So a lot of this flip-flopping energy, and I think on a personal level, we need to make sure it doesn't drive us crazy, right? And that's it. You have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Empress. Page of Cups definitely could be a love offer coming in for you. So if you're looking for love, obviously, there could be love coming in. It could be a water sign. Could be any sign. Fire also stands out to me, which I'm pretty sure I've said to you before. So for whatever reason, I also feel fire energy. Could just be a fiery person. But if you're attracting love, could be a very dreamy, dreamy, fiery person. You have the Eight of Pentacles. I do think Virgo is going to be very focused on work, not just right now, but probably into the next couple of years, really. And I would say this is good because I believe intuitively that the reason Virgo is going to be focused on work is because things are actually working. It's isn't it amazing how when you actually can put work into something and get a result that you want to work, of course, right? So I feel a lot of you, the reason that you're feeling so motivated to me is because things are actually working, which is great. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. It kind of represents doing work and getting paid for it in the future. That could be at a job, but it could also be personal work that you're doing. It's we can work on our body, for example, and we, obviously we might not get results on that until the future, right? So you could be working on literally anything and multiple. I would highly recommend that you work on multiple things, even your own happiness and things like that, with the Eight of Pentacles, because you will get more results. It's clear to me that it's an abundant time for you. You have the Empress. Again, if you are looking for love, obviously I would get out into the world with the Empress. The Empress says you are very attractive at this time, so you could be attracting a lot of love into your life, and but you could also just be attracting a lot of good energy into your life as well. The thing I like to tell people with the Empress, because I think it's very important right now this year, 2025, that we need to focus on effortless energy. She does something effortlessly, right? She grows that wheat in front of her. She just has to wave that scepter in front of her and that wheat will grow. And I think this is very important right now, that we need to look at things that we can do easily. That doesn't, again, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I do. Again, that doesn't mean things are going to be easy, but it's like, are there things that you can do easily? More easily. Those are the things I would focus on. Again, it is not necessarily easy for me to do the 4 videos I do every single day, right? It's a lot of work. I have to do a lot of different things to make it happen, but it is easy for me, right? It's like most people probably wouldn't be able to create as much content as I do. Not saying that to brag. Trust me, it's not a good thing. It's probably not healthy. But most people can't, right? Create the amount of content that I do, because this isn't my only channel as well. And but what I would say is, for me, it's work, but it is easy work, right? And that is what I would be focusing on with the Empress, is like, I think we all have skills. We all have things that we are naturally good at and that come easily to us. And the more you focus on that, the more abundant you will be. With the Page of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. I feel like you're both going to want to rush this connection, is what I would say. So I don't know. I would definitely be careful of rushing with a Mercury retrograde in the middle of July. But at the same time, as I always say, if you're meant to be with a person, it's like the universe isn't going to be like, oh, they were supposed to marry this person, but because it's a Mercury retrograde, I'm going to ruin it. That doesn't happen, right? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. It doesn't matter if Mercury's in retrograde. It doesn't matter if your mom's in retrograde. It doesn't matter, right? So I would say just, but at the same time, it's like, I think this could be a connection where you both want to rush. I would, maybe you want to take it slow. It might be hard to take it slow, though, with that. With the 8 of Pentacles, you have the Page of Swords. Yes, more research on your work. Page of Swords says, ask more questions about what you do. Is there a better way to do it? Work-wise, business-wise, career-wise. The answer is probably yes, and if you discover the better way, then you will be more successful. With the Empress, you have the 4 of Swords. Yes, the better you take care of yourself, the better life will be. I mean, the Empress is a card of self-care. And I said this to someone in the July readings. I don't remember who it was. But, I think that sometimes that we do, that is the solution, is that we do need to take better care of ourselves. And because if we don't, then things start to go downhill, right? And, that's kind of what I feel this card is saying. It's like saying just take better care of yourself in general. I'm not saying you don't. You're a Virgo. You're probably ridiculously healthy. But, what I would say is, value yourself. Do one nice thing for yourself every single day. Take a little bit of time to do something nice for yourself, right? Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this impulse card and this trust card. Maybe you need to trust your impulses, like your intuitive impulses, your gut feelings, your gut instincts. Those things might be, really good for you to listen to. So I kind of feel this is saying listen to yourself and trust yourself. You have the 2 cards. You have the 6 of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and the King of Cups. You have 2 6s, which I love. 2 6s say you're going in the right direction. You're on the right path. Queen of Wands is my card of seduction. It doesn't matter what gender you are. I do feel like you are clearly very attractive at this time, Virgo, or whatever. You're attracting someone here. Like the Page of Swords would normally be a spy, but I don't think this is a spy situation. I think this is, like, if you haven't met this person yet, which actually if you're looking for love, I feel you probably haven't met this person yet. Maybe you know who the person is, but I don't think this will be a spying situation. I kind of feel this is something that, like, clicks right away, so I don't really see this being, like, a struggle or anything like that. So there you go. I also feel a lot of you, again, could be moving in a new direction here. We kind of talked about this with the Temperance card. 6 of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. The Queen of Wands, she has to learn as she goes. And, the Queen of Wands is an amazing energy for everyone in 2025. We are in a time where we have to learn as we go. Right now, probably, I would say for the next few years, actually, where, anything we want to do, we're just not going to know how to do it. But the people who do it anyway are going to be the ones who find success. So, don't be afraid of, like, learning as you go. You have the Six of Cups. Again, I feel like this Six of Cups to me, like, sure, could represent a person from the past, but I don't really feel that in the reading. I feel like this is talking, it is a card of a soulmate, is what I'm trying to spit out here, Virgo. So I feel that you could just be attracting, I feel it's a new person for sure if you're looking for love, and I feel that it could be a soulmate. By the way, if you are already in a connection, this also looks amazing. You have the Three of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Empress, things literally could just be getting easier in the connection. You could be connecting on a deeper level. And the Three of Pentacles is like having shared goals. So if you are in a connection already, and even if you're not, all of you really could be finding something where you have like shared goals with that Three of Pentacles. I think this is good for just all connections, like not even just love, right? A lot of you could be attracting more connections in general that are more playful, that are more lighthearted, where you're all working towards the same thing with that Three of Pentacles. So again, I feel pretty good about this here for you, Virgo. You have the King of Cups. Again, you could be attracting a person like a water sign. It could be any sign. Like fire and water really stand out to me. It could be Earth also is popping into my head, even though you don't really have a lot of Earth cards. Doesn't matter. I read intuitively, so there you go. But I do feel it could be a very emotionally connected person. I think something that will stand out to you about this person, I think I said this to you recently, Virgo. I could be wrong, but I think what will stand out to you is like I feel like this person is like actually a very direct, like very straightforward. For some reason, I don't normally think of the King of Cups as a direct communicator, although, again, on the healthiest side of things, he is very emotionally stable because he has explored his emotions. But just intuitively, I feel like this is a person who's almost so direct that you think that they're not direct at first. Because it's like, I think, like, the first thing that they say is exactly what they mean. Like, the words out of their mouth are exactly what they mean to say. Does that make sense? I don't know. But again, when they say something, they mean it. And they might be so direct that you might not actually think that it's true, but it is. And, I don't think this is an issue or anything. I think this is more of like a clue. Like when you meet, if you're dating, if you're meeting multiple people, it's like maybe one of them is like ridiculously direct and they just say what they mean, and that's it. With, what was this again? Oh, the Six of Swords and the Queen of Wands. You have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, pretty good. A lot of clarity here. It's like this could just say that you are very clear on your direction. She only has clouds halfway up her body on the Queen of Swords. And sorry, I almost just dropped this entire deck. But, she only has clouds halfway up her body. And so it represents the fact that she sees things clearly for the first time. So a lot of you could be like, seeing into the future more clearly, which obviously would be a good thing. With the Six of Cups, you have the Death card. Death can represent a transformation or a change in your life. So I do feel a lot of you could be kind of going through some change. Could be a Scorpio. You get Scorpio with me a lot, Virgo, by the way. So if you're looking for love, it could be a Scorpio. It could be a person with like Scorpio on their chart as well. It could also be a person that just like, changes your view on things in life. But Scorpio wouldn't surprise me. Here you go. Yes, with the King of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. It's like, here are the two people, both very attracted to each other. So, really, there's nothing to say here. There you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Hand of Fate card. It says, everything is happening for a reason except the things to which fate binds you. Wheel of Fortune. You have this Spirit World card. It says, your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities your way. Six of Cups. I think the Six of Cups, intuitively, normally it only represents like innocence and nostalgia, but I was kind of feeling like people on that card. So people could be very helpful for you at this time. And I would just pay attention to that just in general. Don't make the same mistake Leo does, where it's like, my concern for Leo right now, and the reason I'm telling you this is because you are born right next to Leo, right? My concern with Leo is like attaching themselves to people who just like, where it's not a good look, It's like, I don't know. I would just be careful who you attach yourself to, right? And your kind of like your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your, I don't know what word I'm looking for is, but, like how people see you. I don't know why I can't spit that word out right now, Virgo, but what I would say is your reputation is the word I'm looking for. So, again, like sometimes if we attach ourselves to certain people, it can hurt our reputation. And I would definitely, something I would think about. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. Three of Pentacles is a great card for having a common goal. These three people are all working towards this one thing. he's doing the work, and these two people are coming in a support position. So like I said, I think it would be an amazing time for you to meet like supportive people right now, Virgo, or people who where you work towards that common goal, like I said, or the common vision, right? They kind of have like a common vision, these three, building these pentacles. So I think it would be amazing for you to work towards that. You have the Ace of Cups. Definitely, like I said, I think this is something that will move quickly, even with the retrograde. But, if it works, it works. So, as long as things are healthy and positive and, not toxic, then really it doesn't matter, right? If you're both flowing, if there is a general flow in the connection, then you will be fine. I think that's like the most important thing to pay attention to with the Ace of Cups is like, is there a flow? Meaning you put energy in and they also put energy in, and it's equal, for the most part. I think it's ridiculous to think that relationships will ever be equal, because it's like sometimes they will give more, sometimes you will give more. It's like it's impossible, I think, as a person to be able to always be giving, an equal amount in a connection. But for the most part, is it equal? Is there equal, is there somewhat equal give and take? And if the answer is yes, great, keep going. You have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, total fulfillment coming in for you. I would make a wish with this reading. I mean, Sun, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, really good wish energy. Wheel of Fortune as well. So, you could be wishing for your fortunes to change, and they definitely could be changing. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. It's like, I feel really good about this here, Virgo. It's almost like a second chance. Didn't I say this to you on that Temperance card? I think it's almost like you're getting an opportunity to do something that you didn't think would work in the past, or that didn't. This could be like a second chance to build something or create something. This totally came out of left field. Like I did. This is not something I thought I would feel in this reading, but again, some of you could be getting a second chance. It's going to require work. I'm not trying to make this sound like totally amazing. You're going to have to build it, whatever it is, but you could be like rebuilding something, or it's almost like you have gone back to the drawing board on like a project or an idea or a business, and it's like now you're kind of like taking another swing at it. Looks really good. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, like lying, cheating, stealing. But the Seven of Swords in the good stuff is a card of tactics. It's a card of doing things in a different way. He is stealing these swords from this army in the background. I always say that Seven of Swords is kind of like the card of the times right now. I think everybody should be looking for better ways to do everything. And if you do that, you will be more successful. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely could be your fortunes turning in your favor. So there could be like a lot of luck and fortune coming in for you with the Wheel of Fortune. I think there could be like a lot of good news and good ideas coming in for you as well with this card. So, and how crazy is that? I literally said that just a minute ago with the Wheel of Fortune, that it's almost like you're wishing for your fortunes to turn in your favor, and they are. I literally said that 2 seconds ago. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that, but there you go. You have this leg card. It says stepping into new experiences. Yes, it's an amazing time to go on adventures. It's an amazing time to step into new experiences. I highly recommend it for everyone. So yes. You have this dog barking. It says advice from a friend. I think as we really need to pay attention right now, because people can come from two places, love and fear. And so I tell everyone that really now is a time where I think we all have to be very careful, and we need to make sure that, yes, we can take advice from people. And as a matter of fact, the universe has been saying, find a mentor, find people to follow, but the right people who come from a place of expansion, not a place of lack. I've been telling people forever, Neptune and Aries will be the rise of cults. The problem with Neptune and Aries is it makes people want to like find a savior. It's like makes people want to find a person who has all the answers. But the trick is that we have to be the ones that have the answers, right? We have to save ourselves at this time. And so we can't really take the way out. It's like we can't forget like who we are right now. This is the worry with AI. It's like it could go both ways. I feel okay with AI because we had Neptune and Pisces, which kind of exposes the illusion. And now Neptune's obviously moving into Aries. So I think we'll be fine. But, the danger definitely with Neptune and Aries is that people will be looking for easy answers. So they'll just be like, yeah, sure, turn me into a robot, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it, whatever. So, but listen to people who come from love, right? You have this turkey. It says someone is behaving stupidly. Yeah, we really need to pay attention to people right now. And again, something about your reputation. I said that earlier. So I would be careful. If like a person's weird or seems off, I would be careful of that. Just so you don't ruin your own reputation, right? You have this dark woman. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with dark complexion or hair. You have this yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. This could be a person that you need to be careful of, like a person where you feel tied down or stuck or frustrated. You have this kite. It says vacation. Yeah, everybody needs a vacation right now. So any breaks you can take, even if it's just like a staycation or something that you do for a short period of time, would be very beneficial. But this looks really good here, Virgo. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.